Hey everyone, today we are going to solve the LeetCode question island perimeter. Okay, let me explain with this simple example. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 are lands, and 1, 1 is water. So we have to calculate perimeter of the land. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So question is, when will you count perimeter? Do you have any idea? Actually, we have two conditions. So one is when next cell is out of bounds. So look at the 0, 0. And when we start from 0, 0, the above position, above cell is out of bounds, right? So in this case, this line is one of perimeters, right? And left side is also perimeter because left cell is out of bounds. This line also one of perimeters, right? But look at the right side. So we have round, right? So in this case, this line is not perimeters. And also, this line is not perimeters, right? Because we have round at 1, 0. So this is one of the conditions. Another condition is when next cell is water. So look at the 1, 0. From 1, 0, if we go right, we have water, right? So in this case, this line is one of perimeters, right? And from 0, 1, so down position, down cell is water. So in this case, this line is also perimeter, right? So actually, this is a very simple question. If you understand two conditions, you can solve this question very easily. So basically, we check four directions, like up, right, down, and left. And as I told you, if next cell is out of bounds or water, so we have to count +1. If not the case, I think next cell should be land. So add next position to Q, and then we start from next cell. And then we check four directions again, and then we continue same logic. We can call this logic breadth first search. So I'll show you how to implement it in the next coding section. Yeah, so that is a basic idea to solve this question. So let's jump into the code. Okay, let's write the code. First of all, calculate number of rows and columns. So rows and columns equal length of grid and length of grid 0. And next, we don't want to check the same place again, so that's why we will have like a visited. So this is a set. And first of all, we will find the starting point because 0, 0 position is not always land. So start, so we can use next, and we will get row and column position. So for R in range and rows, and for C in range and columns, if grid and R and C equal 1, so 1 means round, right? So when we found the first round, so we will break this loop so that we can get the first round. So, and then we will create a queue, and this is a DQ, and we will put starting point, and then we update visited, so add and starting point, and perimeter equals 0. So let's iterate through one by one. So while q, and we will get first position. So RC equal Q dot pop left, and we want to check four direction, right? So for DR direction R and direction column in we can write like this, and -1, 0, and 1, 0, and 0, -1, and 0, and 1. And new row, new column equal R plus direction R, and column plus direction column. And then if not, and so 0, new R less than rows, and 0 less than or equal new column, and less than columns. So this means out of bounds. Or grid new row and a new column equal water. So next portion is water. So in the case, we will count +1, right? Perimeter plus equal 1. If not the case, a new row and a new column not in visited. So that means next position is new position. In the case, visited, add, and a new row and a new column, and then we will also append this position to Q. So Q dot append and a new row and a new column, like this. And then when we finish this iteration, so just return perimeter. Yeah, that's it. So let me submit it. Sorry, typo here. Perimeter, like this. So let me submit again. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity of this solution should be order of row multiply column, and the space is also row multiply column. The next algorithm is very simple. So we visit all places one by one, and if each place is round, we add +4 for perimeters, because at round we have 4 lines, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 0, 0, so line is 4, so perimeter is 4. And then move next, and 0, 1, so we have 4 lines, right? 4 perimeters, 8. But at 0, 1, we have round on the left side. So that's why this line 2, is not perimeter, right? So that's why subtract -1 from current perimeter. And let's consider if we have only 0, 0 and 0, 1. So perimeter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the current perimeter is 7. Why? Because when we find a round, look at 0, 0. At 0, 0, this line is also not perimeter, right? Because we have round on the right side. So that's why when we find a round, actually we subtract 2 from current perimeter. So 8 minus 2 and 6, right? So that's why we have correct number. And look at 1, 0, and we have round like upper side here, upside. So that's why before we subtract 2. So this is a round, so that's why 4 plus 4, no, 6 plus 4 and 10. And we have round like upper side, so subtract -2, so 8, right? So now we have 8 perimeter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks good. And the next portion is water. In the case we don't do anything, all we have to do is just return 8. And there's somebody wondering, how can we check at each place? So since we traverse from left to right and left to right, we only check like a upper side and the left side. So at 0, 0, we check this direction and this direction. We don't have to check bottom side and the right side because we traverse like this. So at 0, 1, we can check left side here. And at 1, 0, we can check this upper side. If we have cell more like this, so at like a 2, 0, we can check this line, right? If we check this direction and this direction. So that's why we only check upper side and left side at each place. Yeah, so that is the basic idea to solve this question. So let's jump into the code. Okay, let's write the code. First of all, create a perimeter equal 0 and count the number of rows and the columns, rows, and the length of grid and the length of grid 0. And let's iterate through one by one for row in range and rows, and for column in range and calls. If grid and R and C equal 1, so that means round. So perimeter plus equal 4. And if row is greater than 0, and grid row minus 1 and C, so this is the left side, equal 1. In the case, perimeter minus equal 2. If column is greater than 0, and grid and row and column minus 1 equal 1. Perimeter minus equal 2. And then return perimeter. Yeah, so let me submit it. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity is the same as solution 1, row multiply column. But look at the memory. So actually this is a O1. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Please support me with the actions such as comment and hitting like button. I'll see you in the next question.